Hello, welcome to the Indie Ocean. This is Smooth Operators Call Center Chaos. Part, as are many games recently, of the Indie Games Uprising on the Xbox. This one is kind of a sim/management game. So let's just start a new call center so I can show you what's what. I'm not going to load a call center because, believe me, there's nothing to see in my existing call center. As with all sim/management games, I am terrible at call center chaos, smooth operators. But I'm going to name my call center. And there was a contest on indiegamerchick.com to name this game. Smooth Operators was the one that won, but this is the one I thought should have won. Symphony. So that's the name I'm going with for my individual call center here. So, we start off with a contract, a client to represent in our call center. We've got Kamkaze.com this time. That seems to be pretty much randomly decided, name-wise. And you can see on the list there we've got workload and price. So we've got inbound calls, 500, outbound calls, 200, and at the moment no back office work. And that determines what staff you need to hire. I tend to focus on inbound calls. So, first things first, all we have at the moment is this reception, so let's build an operations office for people to actually start taking calls in. So build that, assign it to our one client. If we had more than one client, we could assign the office to a different client, but we don't, and I've never got that far because I'm too rubbish at it. The only one of these games I've ever been any good at is Theme Hospital. Anyway, we'll add a couple of floors, actually. And so people can get up and down. I'll stick an elevator in. And now we need to hire staff. I've frozen time at the moment, so nothing's going on. And assign these all to their inbound call agents and assign them all to their desks. Like that. I'll get mostly inbound and a couple of outbound. Like that. And then crank the speed up to 5% and watch them go about their business. Or 5 times speed. Of course, that's an X! I've always seen it as a percentage symbol up there in the top left. Ugh, that's what they get for sitting across the room. Anyway. So, we have our people coming in, making their calls. You can individually tailor each person. So you can tailor when they're going to be at work. And their salary, so you can give them a pay increase or decrease if you see fit. You can send them on holiday if their mood's bad to try and stop them resigning. All that kind of stuff. And of course you can fire them if you're so inclined. But I have never been very good at managing these people. They tend to quit all the time. And this is how it goes. So you can see at the moment we're accumulating money at the top because we're fulfilling our contract. If I show you the report here, most of this is dizzyingly complicated and confusing and I just don't follow it. But at the bottom there you've got the performance summary. So you can see how many calls, inbound calls we've taken, how many outbound calls we've made, and how many we have to make to fulfill our contract with the client. And if we meet the target in a day, we get a bonus. If we don't meet it, then we get a penalty. So really, I could probably do with even more people, to be honest. We're getting quite late in the day though, so maybe I'll wait until tomorrow. And tomorrow, when they unlock, I'm going to have to hire some janitors, so I think I'll wait until then. There'll be no point just sitting here watching my empty office overnight, so rejoin me in the morning when I'm going to hire some janitors. Okay, welcome back. It's the next morning, and we've now unlocked janitors. So let's slow the speed down to 0 and build an appropriate building. What is it? Service? Yeah, service building. So I think I'm going to stick that on the ground floor down here. Oh, so now we have these empty floors to correspond with the ones on that side. You can fill them up when you get a chance. And need to hire some staff, service staff, janitor. So we'll put in a couple of janitors. We can't hire IT at the moment, but we will need to in due course. And at night, the janitors will clean up the offices, because you can see, at the moment, if you have a look, the floors of these offices are absolutely covered in discarded Coke cans and crisp packets and who knows what else. Much like a real office, if you've ever worked in one, that's pretty much how they end up. So we need our janitors to come in overnight and keep the place tidy, make sure everything's nice and user-friendly when people arrive. There's all sorts of other stuff you can unlock. You can unlock all these accessories that, when they're present, adjust the performance of your staff. You've got managers that, like the project manager, lets you develop new things and unlock new items, and there are coaches who motivate your staff, and managers who improve the staff's performance but actually sort of demotivate them, because no one likes being nagged by their manager. And all that kind of stuff. There's an absolute load of it. And I haven't dabbled in most of this simply because I think we'd better build some more things. So I'm going to build another operations office here. Put some more stuff in it. You can see in the top right we've got our bars, our bars that show how far towards completion of the day's goals we are, and we're not near enough on any of them. So I'm going to quickly hire some more inbound agents and hope that I can meet the inbound target for today. I've barely scratched the surface of most of this because so far I haven't really got the hang of it. I'm inherently bad at this sort of game, so I haven't advanced far enough. After the first few days, I just work at a loss and it completely wrecks me. But yeah, this is all, it's very well presented, the music is nice, it's all very smooth and professional. Like, I can imagine this being a full release PS2 game, maybe PS1 game. Like, if you go back a generation or two until an age where this would be a good looking game at sort of full spec, like full retail games would be pleased to look like this. This is, here come the janitors. I can imagine in terms of the balance and the detail and the way it plays, this could be a professional full release game. Except for what is now quite a retro aesthetic. But if you like retro aesthetics, that's nice. So, if you like this sort of sim/management game, or you're good at them, this, Smooth Operators, well, the name eluded me for a second, Smooth Operators Call Center Chaos is actually a really, really good example of its type, and it's one of very few on Xbox Live indie games. And of course, as an indie game, it's a mere 80 Microsoft points, an absolute bargain if you like this sort of game. Because this doesn't feel like a budget, like a lot of indie games feel like budget versions of full retail games in some way. This doesn't feel like a budget sim management game. This feels like the real deal. So if you like this sort of thing, I highly recommend Smooth Operators. Thanks for watching, and rejoin me the next time for some more looks at indie games. See you then.